Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. In this video I want to show off the new deviant for Astalos, which is the Blue Thunderlord. Now, we did the G5 quest, or G4, I'm sorry, which does come coupled with the Golden Zinogre, but we already know that monster, so I didn't want to show that part, so I'm skipping straight to the other part where the Astalos shows up. We got really lucky, we managed to kill the Zinogre before Astalos shows up. If you don't, man, are you in trouble. Now, this thing is pretty large for the G4 and G5s, and although we had a really good team, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show off all the moves that it can do, I did think that you'll get a really good idea of what kind of tricks it has up its sleeve. Starting out with a choice mount right there, very good idea. That's going to allow us to really buff up our gauges so we can do our hunter arts later, and I can buff up my boomerangs. One cool thing, if you're using a cat, you might notice now that when you throw the first boomerang, it curves to the left, so you have to sort of offset yourself. And the right boomerang goes to the right, the second one. But it does accept slide pad input, so if you throw the first boomerang and you have it going straight on your target, and then you hold left when you throw your second boomerang, it will go straight forward at the exact same spot. So you can throw boomerangs just like you could in Monster Hunter Generations, it just requires more kind of technical skill to do so. So here we see when it gets enraged, it goes into Blue Thunder mode, and I think this is probably the best color scheme of all the monsters in the game. I absolutely love it. It's so cool. Now I am using my guard cat, so I was able to guard moves sort of like that. But those scenes are really powerful. They will one-shot you if you're not careful, and here is his Luke Skywalker Jedi Slam. So he puts this huge beam of blue light and he slams it down to the ground, and that pretty much will one-shot you if you don't have, I'd say probably, I don't know, 800 or more defense, especially if you don't have lightning defense. Luckily I have both, so I'm not worried. For this weapon I am using the Deviant double cross version, so the final endgame version of the Lagombi, which has a massive 50 ice. So you will see me spamming the boomerangs because of that ice damage that you get on the ranged attack. So I think of its new moves, it has some new tail slams, it has obviously the Jedi slam, it can do this thing where, I think it's going to do it now and I'm missing it. It summons this blue ball of thunder which acts sort of like a suction cup, if you see here. It sucks your hunter towards it, and then he generally does a massive attack straight in that area. So if you don't run away, you're kind of in trouble if you don't have a good guarding capability. I do love that it still has sort of like that cricket sound when you when you trip it. I call it the cricket. Another choice mount. Again, I think just like Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate or Generations, if you have someone who can do mounts, it adds into much more damage. I went ahead here and I activated Taunt. That will give everybody SP mode if you're a guard cat, so you definitely want to run it if somebody is mounting the monster. Go ahead and just hit that and everyone will go into SP. Cool thing is that you have auto guard while you're doing the move, so you can always pull it off. You're totally safe. Only costs 2 and it throws everybody into SP mode for 45 seconds, so especially up against a hyper monster where you have tons of gauge, you could just spam that and have everybody in SP the entire hunt. I have a video on SP if you guys are not familiar with the style power-up system. Look at all these flinches. Again, when I try to make these videos, I want to show off the monster, but I also don't want to play alone because I haven't unlocked all the quests myself, and sometimes it can be a little hard to show off all the moves, but he does get a hand up on us later, and I think you can see some of them. Another mount. I think he's doing the aerial, there's an aerial dual blades in the room, and that's probably what's resulting in all the amounts. Could be wrong. So here I am focused on the head. I just wanted to break off that piece because I know the hunters are going to want that rare part, and also because I might be able to get a KO later. They did nerf the heck out of the stun damage for prowlers, so don't expect to be able to do KOs like you were able to in the last game. It's definitely not possible. That being said, impact weapons are still good because they do exhaust a monster, so, you know, it's a trade-off. What is he doing? Yeah, he does his charge and slam. It's so cool. He has some moves though that where he does like a lightning shock just right when he turns around that can really one-shot a lot of people if you're not careful. Again, watching me play Boomerang main is probably not the most exciting thing in the world, but it does give you a pretty good view of what the monster is doing, its size, and its movements. Now for this hunt, I am using a full final set for this monster, which gives me really high thunder defense, so that's definitely going to help me not getting one-shotted. And of course I'm using the guard prowler, so I can guard without pretty much worrying about anything. Use the force, Astalos, use the force. He got me. If you notice here that his tail and his head can charge independently from his body, so when he goes enraged and his whole body goes blue, he can't actually charge other moves, and the electricity from those attacks are much higher than if it was green. It's a good thing I got my boomerang right before he finished the mount. Come on, get the KO. There we go. KO from the cat. Again, it's so hard to get KOs with the cat that I just consider it a nice bonus. Seriously though, is that not the coolest like color design for a monster like ever? It's so crazy. Someone with the no-fly zone, which is good. I got confused here. I was actually going off for the tail, and I completely forgot that I was using an impact weapon, so I can't cut off the tail. There we go. There is the Adept Guard. The Guard Cat gets that by default. If you tap R, you'll do a little wind-up motion. It's just like Adept Guard for a lance, so no damage whatsoever, and you're able to counter it if you want. You can evade out of it, press X to do the spinning attack, or A to do the boomerang combo. And if you know how to use it, and you're right, good timing on that one, right? If you know how to use it, you don't even need to worry about having like guard up L or guard up S on your weapon. I don't have either, I think, on this one, so you can see it's perfectly good if you know the timing. And the great thing is, even if you miss the timing, the guarding on the cat is super strong to begin with, for the guard cat at least. I guess it's called protect. So you won't have to really worry about taking much damage even if you miss. I will do a proper tutorial and some proper hunts with the Prowler so you can see how fun and diverse it can get if you do a balanced type where you're not just spamming boomerangs. But for them, I think, again, for demoing a monster, this might be a good thing just so you can see what the monster is up to, because if you're up there close against a really big monster as a cat, it's going to be very hard to see. Second cart. This is when the real hunt begins. Now the real hunt, of course, does not begin until the second cart, so one more cart and we're done. I love that. One of the cool things is the G3 quests, or the level 13 quests, have a condition that one cart and you fail the quest, so you go in there at the start with the ability only to cart not even once. And I like that a lot. It really creates a huge amount of tension, and even if somebody eats for insurance and you can cart just once, it has everybody on the edge of their seat. So I think that was a fabulous idea. The monster is fun because it's G3. I highly recommend you check those out if you have the game. So what do you guys think? I mean, it was a pretty easy hunt because we had 4 really strong hunters, but what do you think about the Deviant Astalos? Let me know down in comments what you thought about its moves, its colors, and what you liked, what you didn't like, and also perhaps what Deviant you want me to look at next. I am playing against all of them, but I do have limited time, so I will have to choose which one to show off next. I think it might be Mizutsune, but we'll have to see. Here's my cat doing the taunt, smacking its rear end and taunting the other hunters. I think he caught on that I was smacking my butt at him. All too fun. Okay, let's see what I get. Because I've had what I call horrible luck, but for everyone else might call it wonderful luck. I seem to get Pallium at the end of every single quest, just about. Which for a Prowler, I don't want it. Like, Pallium you can't trade for scraps in this game. See what I mean? Too much Pallium. You can't trade it for scraps. Literally, it's useless. I could sell it for Zenny. That's about it. I just want good other parts. So, anyways, me and my good luck. If I ever want to switch to Hunter, I am stocked. Until next time, guys. Happy hunting.